Imagine waking up each morning feeling grounded, centered and poised, regardless of what the day may hold. Picture yourself moving through life's ups and downs with grace and resilience, your inner calm undisturbed by outer chaos. This isn't just a distant dream. It's a way of living that has been pursued and practiced for centuries, rooted in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. Today, we delve into a topic that's not just about understanding Stoic philosophy, but about recognizing and transforming behaviors that stand in our way. Stoicism teaches us how to live virtuously and find joy in accepting what we cannot change while working diligently on what we can. It's about cultivating inner strength, wisdom, and tranquility, regardless of external circumstances. Before we dive deep into the transformative wisdom of Stoicism, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, not just as a viewer, but as an active participant in this journey of self-improvement. Remember, you're different from the majority. You've chosen to embrace this path, making you an exception. So don't skip any part of the video. Each segment is a crucial step toward understanding and integrating Stoic practices into your life, helping you stand out in a world of conformity. In a world bombarded by advertisements and consumer culture, it's easy to believe that happiness lies in the next purchase or possession. But Stoicism encourages us to find contentment and happiness within ourselves. It teaches us that the pursuit of material wealth can often be a distraction from achieving true peace of mind and happiness. So, let's explore the 10 mindset habits you should eliminate now to live a more tranquil and purposeful life aligned with Stoic principles. Habit 1. Excessive materialism. Think back to a time when you eagerly anticipated buying something new, a new phone, a car, or even a pair of shoes. The excitement builds up, and for a moment, it feels like this new possession will bring you lasting happiness. But how long did that feeling last? This cycle of fleeting joy followed by a return to dissatisfaction is a common experience in our consumer-driven society. Stoic philosophy, however, teaches us a different approach. Excessive materialism is seen as foolish in Stoicism. Chasing after money, status symbols, and luxuries creates a constant state of longing and dissatisfaction. The more we acquire, the more we want, leading to an endless cycle of desire. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius emphasized that true happiness and fulfillment come from within, not from external possessions. They advocated for a simple life focused on relationships, knowledge, and personal growth rather than material wealth. To illustrate this point, let's consider the story of the ancient Stoic philosopher Diogenes. Diogenes lived a minimalist lifestyle, owning very few possessions and often using a simple wooden tub as his home. One day, he saw a child drinking water from his hands, which prompted Diogenes to throw away his own cup, declaring that the child had taught him that he needed even less than he thought. This anecdote highlights the Stoic belief that reducing our dependency on material goods can lead to greater freedom and contentment. Imagine shifting your focus from what you want to acquire to what you want to experience and become. Reflect on the moments that have truly enriched your life. Chances are, they aren't about the things you've bought, but the experiences you've had and the relationships you've nurtured. Whether it's a meaningful conversation with a friend, a breathtaking hike in nature, or the satisfaction of personal growth. These are the joys that shape who we are and who we aspire to be. So, how can we begin to eliminate excessive materialism from our lives? Start by simplifying your surroundings and reducing your attachment to possessions. Practice gratitude for what you have, instead of constantly seeking more. Focus on developing your character and investing time in relationships and personal growth. By doing so, you free yourself from the endless cycle of wanting and open your heart to genuine happiness. As we move on to the next section, consider this. How much of your self-worth is tied to the approval of others? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of seeking external validation and how to overcome it to live a more authentic and independent life. Habit 2. Seeking external validation. Have you ever noticed how much of your self-esteem is tied to the opinions of others? Think about the last time you posted something on social media and anxiously awaited the likes and comments. Or recall a moment when you changed your behavior or opinion just to fit in or gain approval. This constant pursuit of external validation can be exhausting and detrimental to our sense of self-worth. Seeking external validation is an unstable foundation for happiness. When we base our self-worth on others' approval, we give away our power and become vulnerable to their opinions. Stoicism teaches us to find validation within ourselves through self-reflection and living in accordance with our values. By focusing on our virtues and judgments, we build a stable sense of self that is not easily shaken by external forces. Consider the story of Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. Despite his harsh circumstances, Epictetus found strength and freedom in his mind. He taught that true happiness comes from within, and that relying on external validation only leads to insecurity and instability. Epictetus emphasized that we should care more about our own approval, grounded in virtuous living, than the fleeting opinions of others. Imagine a life where you are not swayed by the fluctuating opinions of others. Picture yourself making decisions based on your own values and beliefs, confident in your self-worth. By seeking internal validation, you free yourself from the anxiety of external judgment and become more resilient and independent. This shift not only empowers you, but also aligns with the Stoic ideal of living a life of virtue and integrity. To begin this transformation, practice self-reflection and mindfulness. Regularly assess your actions and decisions, ensuring they align with your values rather than external expectations. Build confidence in your abilities and judgments by setting personal goals and acknowledging your achievements. By cultivating a strong sense of self, you reduce your dependency on others' approval and enhance your inner strength. As we move on to the next section, consider this. How often do you find yourself dwelling on past regrets or future worries? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of rumination and discover how to break free from this cycle to live more mindfully and productively. Habit 3. Rumination. Have you ever found yourself replaying a conversation over and over in your head, wishing you had said something different? Or perhaps you constantly worry about a future event, imagining every possible outcome. This habit of rumination, endlessly dwelling on the past or anxiously anticipating the future, can trap us in a cycle of negative thinking that prevents us from living fully in the present. Rumination is one of the most common anti-Stoic behaviors. Stoicism teaches that dwelling on the past or worrying about the future is unproductive and only leads to unnecessary suffering. Instead, Stoics emphasize the importance of living in the present moment and focusing on what we can control. By doing so, we can break free from the paralyzing effects of rumination and take meaningful action in our lives. Consider the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. In his Meditations, Marcus wrote extensively about the importance of focusing on the present. He believed that by anchoring ourselves in the now, we could better manage our thoughts and emotions, leading to a more peaceful and productive life. His wisdom has endured for centuries, reminding us that true power lies in our ability to control our minds. Imagine if, instead of being trapped in a loop of what-ifs and could-have-beens, you could channel your energy into the present moment. Think about how much more you could achieve and how much lighter you would feel without the burden of constant rumination. By practicing mindfulness and grounding techniques, you can learn to redirect your thoughts and focus on the here and now. To start this process, practice mindfulness by taking a few moments each day to focus on your breath and observe your thoughts without judgment. When you catch yourself ruminating, gently bring your attention back to the present. Another effective technique is to engage in activities that require your full attention, such as exercise, reading, or creative hobbies. These activities can help disrupt the cycle of rumination and keep your mind anchored in the present. As we move on to the next section, consider this. How often do you resist change, clinging to the familiar, even when it no longer serves you? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of fearing change and learn how to embrace it as an opportunity for growth and development. Habit 4. Fear of change. Have you ever resisted a new opportunity because you were afraid of what it might bring? Perhaps you hesitated to accept a job offer in a new city or avoided ending a toxic relationship because the unknown seemed too daunting. This fear of change is a common human experience, but it can prevent us from growing and reaching our full potential. Change is a natural part of life, yet many of us fear it and cling to the familiar. Stoicism teaches that change is inevitable and should be embraced as a path to personal development and wisdom. The Stoics believed that resisting change leads to stagnation, while accepting and adapting to change allows us to grow and flourish. Consider the story of Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism. After losing his wealth in a shipwreck, Zeno could have despaired at the sudden and drastic change in his circumstances. Instead, he embraced this change as an opportunity to pursue philosophy, which ultimately led him to develop the principles of Stoicism that continue to influence lives centuries later. Zeno's story is a powerful reminder that what initially seems like a misfortune can be the gateway to new opportunities and growth. Imagine if, instead of fearing change, you viewed it as an exciting challenge and a chance to evolve. Think about the possibilities that could open up if you embraced new experiences and stepped out of your comfort zone. By shifting your perspective on change, you can transform your life in meaningful and unexpected ways. To start embracing change, begin with small steps. Identify areas in your life where you can introduce minor changes and gradually build your comfort with the process. Focus on the potential benefits rather than the uncertainties, and remind yourself that change brings new perspectives and opportunities. Practice gratitude for the positive aspects of change and cultivate a mindset of curiosity and openness. As we move on to the next section, consider this. How often do you find yourself worrying about insignificant issues that drain your energy and focus? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of worrying about trivial matters and learn how to direct our efforts towards what truly matters. Habit 5. Worrying about trivial matters. Have you ever spent hours fretting over a minor inconvenience, only to realize later that it didn't matter at all in the grand scheme of things? Perhaps you worried about a small mistake at work or obsessed over a trivial comment someone made. These insignificant worries can consume our energy and distract us from what truly matters in life. Worrying about trivial matters is a common habit that the Stoics warn against. Stoicism teaches us to focus our time and energy on what is genuinely important and within our control. By constantly worrying about petty issues, we create unnecessary stress and clutter our minds with unproductive thoughts. The Stoics remind us to direct our efforts toward worthwhile pursuits that contribute to our well-being and growth. Think about the life of Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher and advisor to Emperor Nero. Despite the political intrigues and dangers of the Roman court, Seneca emphasized the importance of focusing on meaningful activities and living a virtuous life. He advised that we should not let trivial matters disturb our peace of mind, and instead concentrate on what we can control: our actions, decisions, and attitudes. Imagine how much lighter and more focused your life could be if you let go of trivial worries. Picture yourself moving through your day with a clear mind, unburdened by insignificant concerns. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you can learn to distinguish between what deserves your attention and what does not. To start reducing trivial worries, practice asking yourself a simple question: will this matter in a week, a month, or a year? If the answer is no, allow yourself to release that worry. Set boundaries for your attention and prioritize tasks that align with your values and long-term goals. By focusing on what truly matters, you can cultivate a sense of calm and clarity, freeing up mental space for more meaningful pursuits. As we move on to the next section, consider this: how often do you find yourself seeking revenge or holding grudges? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of seeking revenge and learn how to foster forgiveness and peace instead. Habit 6. Seeking revenge. Have you ever been wronged by someone and felt the burning desire to get even? Perhaps a colleague took credit for your work, or a friend betrayed your trust. The impulse to seek revenge is natural, but it's also a trap that can lead to more harm than good. Revenge perpetuates negativity and keeps us locked in a cycle of anger and resentment. Seeking revenge is fundamentally at odds with Stoic principles. Stoicism teaches that holding on to anger and seeking retaliation only harms ourselves. Instead, the Stoics advocate for forgiveness and understanding, focusing on maintaining our inner peace and directing our energy towards positive actions. By letting go of vengeful thoughts, we free ourselves from the toxic grip of grudges and move towards personal growth and tranquility. Consider the story of Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoic philosophers and Roman emperors. Despite facing numerous betrayals and political intrigues, Marcus consistently chose to act with wisdom and restraint rather than seeking revenge. He believed that true strength lies in maintaining one's integrity and virtue, regardless of external circumstances. His ability to forgive and focus on the greater good serves as a timeless example of Stoic resilience. Imagine the peace you could achieve by letting go of grudges and choosing forgiveness over revenge. Picture yourself responding to life's challenges with calmness and grace, unburdened by the desire to retaliate. By embracing the Stoic approach, you can transform your interactions and foster a more positive and fulfilling life. To start fostering forgiveness, practice empathy by trying to understand the perspective of the person who wronged you. Recognize that their actions often stem from their own pain or fear. Reflect on the benefits of letting go of anger, such as improved mental health and stronger relationships. Engage in self-reflection and mindfulness to manage your emotional responses and cultivate a mindset of compassion and forgiveness. As we move on to the next section, consider this: How often do you find yourself wasting time on unproductive activities? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of wasting time and learn how to use our time more purposefully and effectively. Habit 7. Wasting time. Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through social media for what feels like a few minutes, only to realize that hours have slipped away? Or perhaps you found yourself binge-watching a TV series when you had planned to be productive. These moments of lost time can add up, preventing us from achieving our goals and living a fulfilling life. Wasting time is a habit that Stoicism strongly advises against. The Stoics view time as our most precious resource, something we cannot reclaim once it is gone. They emphasize the importance of using our time deliberately and purposefully. By focusing on activities that align with our values and contribute to our growth, we can lead a more meaningful and productive life. Consider the wisdom of Seneca, who wrote extensively about the value of time in his essay On the Shortness of Life. He observed that people often squander their time on trivial pursuits, forgetting that life is fleeting and precious. Seneca's advice was to be mindful of how we spend our time, to invest it in activities that bring us closer to our goals and enrich our lives. His teachings remind us that time, once lost, cannot be recovered, making it crucial to use it wisely. Imagine the sense of accomplishment and fulfillment you could achieve by eliminating time-wasting activities and focusing on what truly matters. Think about the goals you could reach, the skills you could develop, and the relationships you could nurture. By being intentional with your time, you can transform your life in profound ways. To start using your time more effectively, conduct a time audit. Track how you spend each hour of your day for a week, noting activities that are productive versus those that are not. Reflect on this data to identify patterns and areas for improvement. Set clear priorities and allocate your time accordingly, ensuring that your daily activities align with your long-term goals. Practice mindfulness to stay present and focused, and make conscious choices about how you spend each moment. As we move on to the next section, consider this. How often do you find yourself actively seeking out problems or focusing on negative aspects of situations? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of looking for problems and learn how to cultivate a solution-focused mindset instead. Habit 8. Looking for problems. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to always find something to complain about, no matter the situation? Maybe you've found yourself in a similar pattern, focusing on the negatives and seeking out problems, even when things are generally good. This habit can lead to a negative mindset that saps our energy and prevents us from seeing solutions and opportunities. Constantly looking for problems is a mindset that contradicts Stoic principles. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to approach challenges with a solution-oriented mindset. By actively seeking problems, we fall into a trap of negativity and stress. Instead, Stoics encourage us to view challenges as opportunities to practice virtues such as perseverance, wisdom, and positivity. Consider the story of Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. Despite the hardships he faced, Epictetus chose to focus on what he could control, his thoughts and reactions. He famously taught that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This perspective allowed him to maintain a sense of inner peace and resilience even in the face of adversity. Imagine how your life could change if you shifted from a problem-focused mindset to a solution-oriented one. Picture yourself facing challenges with a calm and proactive approach, finding opportunities for growth and improvement rather than getting bogged down by negativity. By adopting this mindset, you can enhance your resilience and overall well-being. To start cultivating a solution-focused mindset, practice reframing your thoughts. When you encounter a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can I turn this into an opportunity? Engage in problem-solving activities and exercises that train your brain to think creatively and constructively. Surround yourself with positive influences and seek feedback from others who demonstrate a solution-oriented approach. As we move on to the next section, consider this. How often do you act on impulse, only to regret it later? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of impulsivity and learn how to cultivate self-control and deliberate decision-making. Habit 9. Impulsivity. Have you ever made a snap decision only to regret it moments later? Perhaps you bought something expensive on a whim or said something in the heat of the moment that you couldn't take back. Impulsivity can lead to poor choices and unnecessary stress, making it a habit worth examining and changing. Impulsivity is a behavior that Stoicism strongly discourages. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-control and deliberate decision-making. By pausing to reflect before acting, we can align our actions with our values and long-term goals, rather than succumbing to fleeting emotions and desires. This approach not only prevents regret, but also cultivates a sense of inner discipline and peace. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor known for his Stoic wisdom. In his Meditations, Marcus often reflected on the importance of controlling impulses and making decisions based on reason and virtue. Despite the immense pressures of his position, he practiced mindfulness and self-control, which helped him lead with wisdom and integrity. His writings remind us that true power comes from mastering ourselves. Imagine how your life could improve if you consistently made thoughtful, deliberate decisions. Picture yourself handling challenging situations with calm and clarity, avoiding the pitfalls of impulsive actions. By cultivating self-control, you can make choices that align with your values and contribute to your long-term success and happiness. To start overcoming impulsivity, practice mindfulness and self-reflection. When faced with a decision, take a moment to pause and consider the potential consequences. Ask yourself if the choice aligns with your values and long-term goals. Engage in activities that require patience and discipline, such as meditation or journaling, to strengthen your self-control. By developing these habits, you can transform impulsive tendencies into thoughtful actions. As we move on to the next section, consider this. How often do you find yourself complaining about life's difficulties rather than taking action to improve them? Stay tuned as we explore the mindset habit of excessive complaining and learn how to adopt a more proactive and positive approach to life's challenges. Habit 10. Complaining. Have you ever found yourself in a conversation where everyone seems to be competing over who has the worst day? Or perhaps you've caught yourself frequently venting about minor inconveniences that, in the grand scheme of things, are quite trivial. While it may feel relieving in the moment, excessive complaining can create a negative mindset and drain your energy. Complaining excessively is a habit that Stoicism advises against. Stoics believe in focusing on what we can control and taking proactive steps to improve our situation rather than dwelling on what we can't change. By constantly complaining, we give power to our grievances and diminish our ability to act constructively. Instead, Stoicism encourages acceptance and action, guiding us to reframe our thoughts and focus on solutions. Consider the example of Epictetus, who lived as a slave before becoming a renowned Stoic teacher. Despite his difficult circumstances, Epictetus chose to focus on his inner freedom and capacity for virtue rather than complaining about his external conditions. He taught that our perceptions and responses are within our control, and that by changing our mindset, we can find peace and strength even in adversity. Imagine how liberating it would be to shift your focus from what's wrong to what can be done. Picture yourself tackling challenges with a proactive attitude, finding ways to improve your situation instead of being bogged down by complaints. This shift not only enhances your well-being, but also inspires those around you to adopt a more positive and solution-focused approach. To start reducing complaints, practice gratitude. Take a few moments each day to reflect on what you are thankful for, no matter how small. When you feel the urge to complain, pause and reframe your thoughts. What can I do to improve this situation? Engage in activities that uplift your mood and reinforce a positive outlook. By doing so, you cultivate resilience and a proactive mindset. As we wrap up this series on mindset habits to eliminate, consider this. How can you apply these Stoic principles to transform your life? Stay tuned for our concluding thoughts and actionable steps to integrate these habits into your daily routine, helping you lead a more tranquil and purposeful life. As we come to the end of our journey through the 10 mindset habits you should eliminate to align more closely with Stoic principles, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Imagine a life where you are no longer weighed down by excessive materialism, the need for external validation, or the paralyzing effects of rumination. Picture yourself embracing change with confidence, focusing your energy on what truly matters, and facing challenges with a solution-oriented mindset. This is the life that Stoic philosophy can help you cultivate, a life of tranquility, purpose, and inner strength. Throughout history, Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus have provided timeless wisdom on how to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. Their teachings remind us that while we cannot control external events, we have complete control over our thoughts, responses, and actions. By eliminating detrimental habits and embracing Stoic principles, we can transform our lives in profound and lasting ways. Now think about how you can apply these insights to your daily routine. Start by identifying which of these habits resonate most with you and focus on one or two areas to improve. Practice mindfulness to stay present and engage in regular self-reflection to ensure your actions align with your values. Remember, this is a continuous journey of growth and self-improvement. To help solidify these concepts, consider creating a journal where you track your progress and reflect on your experiences. Share your journey with others who might benefit from Stoic wisdom, and encourage each other to stay committed to personal growth. Finally, I'd like to leave you with a question to ponder. How can you integrate these Stoic principles into your life to become the best version of yourself? Take a moment to think about this and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might inspire others on their journey. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoic philosophy and practical wisdom. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let's continue learning and growing together, embracing the timeless teachings of Stoicism to lead a life of greater contentment and purpose. Stay tuned for more videos on how to cultivate a resilient and fulfilling life through ancient wisdom.